in the golden heart of Timbuktu, where Mansa Musa's wealth blinds the world, 12-year-old Tariq, a quick-witted street kid, finds a mysterious gold-etched ring buried near the royal palace. With his brave friend Zainab, he uncovers whispers of a secret shadow council and a powerful relic, the heart of the empire hidden beneath the city. But when a treacherous advisor named Safia hunts them for the ring, Tariq must race through dark tunnels and face shadowy spirits to save the relic and protect Mansa Musa's throne. Will one boy's courage stop a betrayal that could topple the richest empire in history? The sun blazed over Timbuktu, turning the mud brick houses into a golden glow that shimmered like the treasures of Mansa Musa, the richest man the world had ever known. It was 1324, and the Mali Empire was a land of wonder, its markets overflowing with salt, colorful cloth, and gold, so much gold that traders whispered it could fill the Niger River. Camels trudged through the dusty streets, their bells jingling, while merchants shouted over piles of goods, their voices mixing with the hum of the city. In the heart of it all stood the royal palace, its walls tall and gleaming, a fortress of power and secrets. But beneath its golden shine, a single betrayal was brewing, one that could shake the empire to its core. Tariq, a 12-year-old boy with quick feet and sharper eyes, darted through the crowded market, his patched tunic flapping against his skinny legs. His dark curls bounced as he weaved between stalls, dodging a camel's swinging tail and a merchant's angry shout. Tariq was an orphan, living by his wits, snatching bits of bread or shiny trinkets to trade for a meal. He wasn't a thief, not really, just a kid who knew how to survive in Timbuktu's busy streets. Today, though, he'd found something different, something that made his heart race. Near the palace wall, half buried in the hot sand, he'd dug up a small gold-etched ring, its surface carved with strange symbol swirls and stars that looked older than the city itself. It wasn't just pretty, it felt heavy, like it carried a secret bigger than anything he'd ever found. Tariq, slow down, called Zainab, his best friend, her voice sharp but warm. She was a wiry girl with tight braids and a frown that hid her curiosity. Her sandals slapped the ground as she chased him, her eyes narrowing at the glint in his hand. "What's that?" "Another one of your treasures." Tariq stopped, his grin wide, his eyes sparkling like the Niger under moonlight. He held up the ring, its carvings catching the sunlight. "This isn't just any treasure, Zainab, look at it. These marks, they're not like anything in the market. It's old, maybe even older than Mansa Musa's gold." Zainab crossed her arms, her frown deepening. "You're gonna get us in trouble. Remember old Malik? He touched palace stuff and disappeared. You wanna end up like him?" Tariq's grin faltered, his stomach twisting. Old Malik was a thief who'd tried to steal a horse from the royal stables last year. Some said he was rotting in the palace dungeons, others whispered he'd been taken by spirits. Tariq didn't believe in spirits, but he knew the palace guards were real, their spears sharp and their eyes hard. Still, the ring was different. It felt alive, its warmth sinking into his hand, its carvings whispering secrets he couldn't ignore. "We're not stealing," he said, his voice firm. "We're finding. There's a difference. Let's take it to Mama Awa. She'll know what it is." Mama Awa was the oldest person in Timbuktu, a storyteller who lived in a small house stuffed with woven baskets, dried herbs, and faded scrolls. Her eyes were sharp despite her wrinkles, and she knew the city's stories of Mansa Musa's wealth, his pilgrimage to Mecca, where he gave away so much gold it shook distant markets, and darker whispers of secrets hidden in the palace's shadows. Tariq and Zainab pushed through the market, dodging a woman balancing a basket of dates and a man leading a grumbling camel. The air smelled of spices and dust, the sun baking the earth under their feet. Mama Awa's door was a worn slab of wood, carved with swirls that looked oddly like the ring symbols. They burst inside, the cool shade a relief from the heat. Mama Awa was sorting herbs, her hands slow but steady, her eyes flicking up as they entered. "Tariq, Zainab," she said, her voice like dry leaves. "What trouble are you chasing now?" Tariq held out the ring, his heart thumping. "Mama, I found this by the palace wall. It's not like anything I've seen." "What is it?" Mama Awa took the ring, her fingers trembling as she traced its carvings. Her face changed, her eyes widening, her breath catching like she'd seen a ghost. "Where did you get this, boy?" she asked, her voice low and urgent, almost a whisper. "In the sand, near the palace," Tariq said, his excitement fading under her gaze. "Why? What's wrong?" Mama Awa set the ring on a table, her hands shaking. This is no ordinary ring, Tariq. These symbols, they're from the old days, before Mansa Musa, before his father's time. They belong to the Shadow Council. Her voice dropped, as if the walls might hear. A secret group, advisors to the king, guarding his greatest treasure, not gold, but something more powerful, hidden deep in the palace. Zainab's eyes went wide, her voice barely above a whisper. The Shadow Council. That's just a story, isn't it? Like the spirits in the desert. Mama Awa shook her head, her eyes dark. No, child, the Shadow Council is real. They work in the shadows, keeping the empire strong. This ring is their mark, a key to their chamber, but it's dangerous. Those who meddle with the council's secrets don't come back. Tariq's heart raced, his mind spinning. He'd heard whispers of the Shadow Council, tales of men and women who moved like ghosts, controlling the empire's fate from hidden rooms. Some said they were loyal to Mansa Musa, others said they plotted to take his throne. If the ring was theirs, it could lead to something bigger than gold, something that could change everything. We have to find out, he said, his voice steady, despite the fear creeping up his spine. If there's a secret in the palace, we can uncover it. Mama Wa grabbed his wrist, her grip surprisingly strong. No, Tariq, the Shadow Council doesn't play games. Return the ring where you found it, or you'll bring trouble on us all. Trouble even Mansa Musa's gold can't fix. But Tariq's curiosity was stronger than her warning. He wasn't just a street kid. He was a finder, a seeker of secrets, and this ring was the biggest he'd ever held. He pulled away, tucking the ring into his tunic. Come on, Zainab, we're going to the palace. Zainab hesitated, her eyes flicking to Mama Awa's worried face, but Tariq's spark was catching. She sighed, her frown softening. You're gonna get us killed, Tariq, but I'm not letting you go alone. They slipped out, the sun sinking low, painting Timbuktu in shades of orange and red. The market was quieting, traders packing up, the air cooling as shadows stretched across the streets. The palace stood like a mountain, its mud brick walls glowing in the twilight, its towers guarded by spearmen in shining armor. Tariq and Zainab crept through alleys, sticking to the shadows where the guards wouldn't see. The ring was warm in Tariq's hand, its carvings pulsing faintly, as if it knew where they were going. They reached the spot where he'd found it, a patch of sand by a cracked stone near the palace wall, hidden behind a pile of broken pots. Here, Tariq whispered, kneeling and brushing the sand away. His fingers hit something hard, a small, hidden door, barely big enough for a child to crawl through, its surface carved with the same swirls and stars as the ring. The air felt heavy, like before a storm, and whispers drifted up from the door, soft and strange, like voices from a dream. Seek, secret, beware. Zainab's voice shook her hand on his shoulder. Tariq, this isn't right, Mama Awa said, to leave it, but Tariq's heart was pounding, the ring's warmth urging him on. He pushed it into a slot in the door, and it clicked, swinging open to reveal a dark tunnel sloping into the earth. The air was cool, thick with the smell of dust and time, and the ring glowed brighter, lighting the way. We're so close, he said, his voice trembling with excitement. Don't you want to know what's down there? Zainab's frown deepened, but she grabbed her lantern, its flame flickering in the dark. If we die, I'm blaming you. They crawled inside, the tunnel narrow and rough, its walls carved with stars, spirals, and strange faces with empty eyes that seemed to watch them. The whispers grew louder, weaving words Tariq couldn't quite catch. Seek, betray, guard. The ring pulsed, guiding them deeper, the lantern's light dancing on the walls. The tunnel opened into a chamber, its walls glittering with gold veins that ran like rivers through the stone. The air was heavy, the smell of dust mixed with something sharper, like old metal. At the center was a round stone table, and on it, a golden box, its surface carved with the same symbols as the ring. The whispers were a chorus now, filling the chamber, and Tariq felt them in his chest, pulling him toward the box. This is it, he whispered, his voice barely audible. The Shadow Council's secret. Zainab's eyes were wide, her lantern trembling. Tariq, look at the walls. The carvings were moving, their faces twisting, their eyes glowing faintly gold, like the ring. A voice boomed from the box, deep and old, like the earth waking up. Who dares enter the chamber of the Shadow Council? Tariq froze, his heart hammering so loud he thought it might burst. Zainab grabbed his arm, her nails digging in. What did you do, Tariq? Before he could answer, footsteps echoed behind them, sharp and quick. A woman stepped into the chamber, tall and sharpened, her robes rich with gold thread, her neck adorned with a ring like Tariq's, its carvings glinting in the lantern's light. Her voice was cold, like a blade on stone. You've gone too far, children. Tariq clutched the ring, his voice shaking but defiant. Who are you? The woman's smile was thin, her eyes hard. I am Sophia, of the Shadow Council. That ring is not yours. Give it to me, or you'll regret it. Zainab stepped forward, her chin high, her lantern raised. We found it. What's in that box? Sophia's eyes narrowed, her hand resting on a curved dagger at her belt. The box holds the heart of the Empire relic that keeps Mansa Musa's rule strong. It's not. They crept through the city, the box hidden under Tariq's tunic, the ring tucked tight in his pocket. The palace was close, its walls gleaming in the moonlight, but guards stood at every gate, their spears glinting, their eyes sharp. Tariq's heart pounded, but he remembered a story Mama Awa told, a hidden passage near the eastern wall, used by the king's messengers to slip in and out unseen. They found it, a narrow crack hidden by thick vines, just big enough for them to squeeze through. The passage was dark, its walls damp and cool, the air heavy with the smell of earth. The box's glow lit the way, and the ring pulsed, guiding them like a star. The whispers were softer now, but still there, urging them forward. Seek, King, truth. The passage twisted, sloping upward, until it opened into a small chamber inside the palace. Its walls hung with rich tapestries woven with gold thread, its floor covered in soft rugs that felt strange under Tariq's bare feet. At the center was a throne, empty but grand, its wood carved with lions and stars. A man stood beside it, Mansa Musa himself, his robes shimmering with gold, his eyes kind but heavy, like he carried the weight of the empire on his shoulders. He turned, his gaze locking on Tariq and Zainab, and his voice was deep, like the Niger River flowing. Children, why are you here, in my palace, at this hour? Tariq's hands trembled, but he stepped forward, pulling the box from his tunic. Great King, he said, his voice shaking but clear, we found this, the heart of the empire. Safia, from the Shadow Council. She tried to take it. She betrayed you. Mansa Musa's eyes widened, his hand reaching for the box, his fingers brushing its warm surface. The heart, he whispered, his voice heavy with awe and fear. How did you find it? Tariq told him everything, the ring in the sand, the hidden door, the chamber, Sophia's cold smile, the shadows that took her. Zainab stood beside him, her head high, adding details when he faltered. The king listened, his face darkening, his hands tightening on the box. Safia was one of my closest advisors, he said, his voice low, like a storm brewing. She swore to protect the heart, to guard the empire's soul. Her betrayal could have broken us all. Zainab's voice was small but brave, her lantern still in her hand. What is the heart, great king? Why does it matter so much? Mansa Musa opened the box, revealing a glowing orb, its light golden and warm, pulsing like a heartbeat. This is the heart of the empire, he said, his eyes distant, like he saw beyond the chamber. It holds the strength of our land, our people, our future. It was given to my ancestors by the spirits of the earth, a gift to keep the Mali Empire strong. Without it, our cities would crumble, our rivers dry, our gold turn to dust. Tariq's heart swelled, his chest tight with pride. He'd found it, protected it, brought it to the king. He was no longer just a street kid, he'd saved the empire. But the whispers lingered, faint but clear, a warning in his bones. Guard, truth, end. He looked at Mansa Musa, his voice steady. What happens to the Shadow Council? Will they come for us? The king's eyes were sad but firm, his hand closing the box. The Shadow Council will be cleansed. Sophia's betrayal has shown their weakness. You, Tariq, and you, Zainab, have done what my advisors could not. You've saved the empire. The palace trembled, a faint rumble from below, like the earth settling. The whispers faded, the ring cooling in Tariq's pocket. Mansa Musa took it from him, his fingers gentle but sure, and placed it in a hidden alcove behind the throne, alongside the box. The heart's glow dimmed, safe at last, its light locked away where no traitor could reach it. You are no longer children of the streets, Mansa Musa said, his voice warm, his eyes kind. You are heroes of the Mali Empire. Your names will be remembered. Tariq and Zainab left the palace as dawn broke, the first rays of sun touching Timbuktu, turning its walls to gold. The city woke, its markets filling with the hum of traders, the jingle of camel bells, the shouts of merchants. The ring and box were gone, safe with the king, and the whispers were silent, their warning heeded. Tariq felt different, taller, like the empire's heart had touched his own. Zainab nudged him, her grin wide, her frown gone. "You're still troubled, Tariq," she said, laughing, "but I'm glad I followed you." Tariq grinned back, his heart light. "We saved the empire, Zainab. Think they'll put us in Mama Awaz's stories?" She laughed, shoving him playfully. "They better." Timbuktu shone under the rising sun, its gold brighter, its secrets deeper. The Mali Empire stood strong, its heart safe, its king wiser. But Tariq knew one thing: betrayal could come from anywhere, even the shadows of the royal court. He'd keep his eyes open, his wits sharp, ready for the next secret the city might hide. For now, though, he was a hero, and Timbuktu was home.